what's happening. My sales platform.
Hey, what's happening, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'd like to play the music for a second just to kind of get you guys ready for a really good conversation. I want to welcome you guys to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. I hope you guys are doing well. Hello, M. Mays and Dr. Dorsey and Chernian. Is that right? Chernian Dawson. Khalif, how you doing? Okay, I see you testing out a theme song. Yeah, the theme song kind of lets us get started in terms of me letting you guys come into the conversation. So here's the deal. All right, so let me ask you guys this. If you can, please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. Also, please shout out your city. Let me know what city you're coming from. I see Doris is from Chicago. Good to see you, Doris. I'm actually in Chicago, or near Chicago, not too far away from Chicago. And don't forget, everybody, the All Black National Convention is happening next week in about 10 days in Houston. I just got a text from Willie D. I'm actually going to go on Willie D's YouTube channel tomorrow, either at 1 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Central. I got to see which time works on my schedule. And so if you want to check that out, you can go to Willie D's YouTube page and you can kind of check out what we have to say. Dr. Dorsey from South Carolina, how are you? Good to see you. All right, so let's jump into the conversation today. I want to talk, hello, Quentin. I want to talk to you guys about, really quickly, about this interesting case. Tell me yes or no if you heard about the case of Felicity Huffman. Felicity Huffman, and a white actress that I knew almost nothing about. I'm sure if I saw her face in a movie or something, I'd probably recognize. I'd be like, oh, I think I've seen that lady somewhere. But I don't really, I don't keep a Rolodex of white people like that. No disrespect to Felicity. I'm sure she's great at what she does, but I have not seen her. I think she has a husband I've seen in a couple of movies, a little Weasley looking guy. And anyway, got those recessive genes. I saw that Felicity Huffman. Tell me yes or no if you saw the case where these parents were involved in this cheating scandal or something, where they were paying money to get their kids into these elite universities and hundreds of thousands of dollars to send their kids to schools like USC and Yale and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys saw that case. I assume that you did. So there's a backlash, right? So the case kind of happened, and Felicity apparently she got 14 days in jail. Luckily for her, her white woman tears saved her, because those are like gold. Those are very valuable. You can actually send 10 black men to prison with no evidence with white woman tears. So I'm working on my white woman tears game. I'm hoping I can maybe conjure up some white women tears and learn how to really cry. Like I do terrible things to people and then really cry about it. Like, I don't know. Let me, I'm just curious, see what it would sound like. There we go. Let's see. How's that? What do y'all think? Y'all think that would work for me? That's kind of what I sound like when I cry. That's what Alicia would say. There you go. All right, so that's me crying. Okay, so I don't know if my white woman tears game is up to par yet, but I'm gonna keep working on it. But here's the deal. So Felicity got 14 days in jail, which we know that's nothing, right? We know that there's a whole lot of black people that got much longer sentences for far less serious crimes. I just need a couple minutes, babe. I'm almost done. And anyway, so you guys know I ain't gonna talk too long, because I got a beautiful black woman in the other room waiting for me. So I'm gonna make this super quick. So Felicity got her 14 days in jail, and a lot of people were comparing this to the case of Tanya McDowell. Tanya McDowell is a mom out of Connecticut who got 5 years in prison after she sent her child to a school in the wrong district. Now in People magazine, they were making a legit point that Tanya McDowell's case was very complicated. And I have personal knowledge of this because I actually talked to Tanya McDowell when the case went down. The local leadership in the Connecticut NAACP reached out to me to talk to Tanya, and I spoke to her and I advocated on her behalf. But I remember having a conversation with the head of the local NAACP and kind of saying, you got to be really careful about this, because I think what's really going on is that this case is much deeper than just we're trying to lock this lady up for sending her child to the wrong school. I got an indication based on, it's so long ago, I don't remember all the details, but I got an indication that Tanya was in some, like slanging that yayo, right? Like that she was in a little bit of the dope game, and she was eventually charged and convicted of selling drugs twice, which she got 5 years in prison for, in conjunction with sending her child to the wrong school. Now, here's why I think Tanya was still dealt a huge injustice. Here's what I believe that it was a huge injustice, because here's the deal, right? When I look at this situation, first thing I'll say is this. I think we have to sort of reconsider, what the war on drugs did to the Black family, and how we know that Black families don't use drugs any more than white families do, but yet Black people were the ones who got all the long prison sentences. Black families were destroyed by many laws pushed forward by your buddies in the Democratic Party, who just literally did everything they could to destroy the Black family as much as they possibly could. And so, like the Bill Clinton crime bill and things like that. And so I don't think Ms. McDowell should have gone to prison. I think that there are more structural ways to kind of deal with drugs. I think it should be seen as a public health issue, as opposed to one where you're incarcerating half the population, and the other half of the population, you're feeling sorry for them. Like these white kids getting hooked on opioids. Imagine if they were locking them up the way they did Black people. If they were locking up the opium addicts the way they locked up Black people, we would have no society left. Like literally, it'd be like the way the bubonic or the Black Plague knocked out like a third of Europe, and entire governments fell because so many people were dying. It would be like that, except, in America for white people, if they literally went through and were doing drug raids and locking up everybody associated with the opioid situation, right? But they did that to you because it was okay for them to destroy your entire community, because you guys forgive everything. You guys forgive everything. Y'all don't remember shit. Y'all will still go back and support these same politicians who just ruined your life. And I'm cursed. I'm cursed with I guess a good memory, because I'll be like, no, I'm not voting for shit. I'm not voting for you. You need to go fix all the shit that you've messed up before you ever get my vote. Don't you ask me for nothing, right? That's me. But then again, of course, I'm the loudmouth Negro. That's why I got banned from Ebony magazine. There's a lady in Ebony magazine who said we will never publish an article from Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I think it was because I said I wasn't going to vote in the election. But anyway, but if you don't think I have the right to be a free Black man, then you can kiss my entire Black ass, because I have the right to be free, and you're not going to pump me into doing nothing. Now, here's the deal. Okay, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't done it yet, please do that. If you're on Facebook, please share this to your page. I really appreciate that. So let's keep going. All right, so here's what you're looking at, right, with this dynamic with Felicity Huffman versus Tanya McDowell. I'm going to say something that you probably have not heard anywhere else from anybody else, but I don't, it may sound weird at first. I don't know if some of you may agree, some of you may not agree, but just hear me out. You ain't got to agree with me. This is a space for intelligent Black people, not for people that all think alike. I don't think any of them should have gone to jail. I don't think Felicity Huffman should have gone to jail. I don't think Tanya McDowell should have gone to jail. With Tanya McDowell, what it was they were trying to get her on the dope charge. And Tanya, this is what I gathered from kind of having an inside scoop on this, because I was kind of talking to her, advocating for her. I think they were trying to get her on the dope charge. So they threatened to go arrest her for this other thing, right? They were like, oh, well, we're going to just pull a law out of our ass. That's how they take Black people down. That's why when your son or your daughter gets in the system, it's so hard to get out, because they will pull laws out from 1802 and go get you. I don't know if y'all seen the case of the Black men who were literally, I kid you not, I swear to God, go look this up. They were literally charged. There was a lady that accused that she decided to have a foursome with these three Black dudes. They all went in there and had sex with her. She decided to charge them with rape because she was drunk and wanted to have sex. So of course we know certain people are not held accountable for anything they do while they're drunk. I get drunk and I do something stupid, I'm going to jail. But apparently for some people, they say, well, if you're drunk, then you can't make any decisions. So she invited them all in for a threesome, foursome, whatever the hell nasty shit they had going on, and she accused all of them of rape. So they couldn't pin them on the rape charge. Do you know what they literally charged these guys with and literally convicted them of? I kid you not. They convicted them of soliciting an unmarried woman. I'm gonna say that slow, so y'all know. Just I need y'all to really internalize the fuckery with me for a moment. Let's meditate on this for a minute. Tell me if you hear what I'm saying. Do you hear what I'm saying? They literally charged them with soliciting an unmarried woman, a law from like 1908. I swear to God, I kid you not. I'm not making this up. I'm talking extra slow and I'm whispering so that you'll understand the impact of my words and really be able to truly experience and truly connect to the depth of the extreme fuckery that we live in this country. Yes, yes, Nisa. Yes, literally. And so that's what they do. You know, that's, if you want to talk about white supremacy in the criminal justice system, that's an example of that. It's the fact that if you have 100 people that are all committing the same crime and you pick a certain group and you decide you want to search them more, follow them around more, dig more into their shit, find throw the book at them, then you're going to find something to lock them up with. There is not a single person in this room right now, I kid you not. Tell me yes or no if you agree with me. There's not a single person in this room right now. If I went into your life in every little detail, if I followed you around for your whole entire life, watched everything you did, stopped you every chance I had, and dug in, went through all your shit and dug through your past and talked to everybody who ever disliked you and everybody who ever accused you of anything, do you think that I could find a reason to lock you up? Tell me, like, do you think that I could find something to pin on you if I searched long and hard enough and literally dug up laws, pulled laws out of my ass from 1904? Like, do you think I could find something? You ever, smoke a little weed? You ever, I don't know, you ever bounce a check? You ever speed? You drive too fast? You ever jaywalk a little bit? Wait, what you got? What you got for me? You ever tell somebody you're gonna whoop their ass? You ever done anything that might get you in trouble? Right. So my point of the matter is that's where the white supremacy shows itself. It's a persecution that comes from added and extraordinary scrutiny on a group of people where you're holding them to this standard and everybody else is being held to that standard. Right. So I think that's what Tanya McDowell got. I think she was being scrutinized and held to a higher standard than she would be if she were white. I don't think that if she were white, stats show the chances are she would never would have got locked up because we know white people are the primary consumers of drugs, yet we were the ones getting locked up the most for these drugs. Do we agree on that? Do you understand where I'm coming from with that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Give me a yes or no so I know that you guys are hearing me. So moving on. By the way, don't forget the All Black National Convention happens in Houston on September 27th. That weekend it's going to be really great. I guarantee you guys, literally guarantee, like if you get there and you're not happy or you feel like all doctors or some BS, I will give you your money back right there on the spot. But if you fly to Houston, you're going to love it. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com to check out the passes. Or if you want to watch on the video, we're going to try to do a live stream. If not, we'll just load the video up, the recording up that night, like right afterward, as soon as we can compress the video. Just go to allblackeducation.com. That's allblackeducation.com. We have sort of a digital streaming service that has all kinds of educational content. The lectures I did with Farrakhan, movies that we've made, all kinds of stuff, right, that you can check out. The first month is totally free. Won't cost you a penny to get started. So you can go to allblackeducation.com if you can't make it. That's how you can join us digitally. If you want to be there live, go to allblacknationalconvention.com. Please hit the thumbs up button. So let's really dig in this thing for a second. Okay, so Felicity Huffman got the 14 days in jail. I don't believe Felicity or anybody should go to jail for what they did. I just thought it was stupid. I thought that I'm sorry. I know that they're white, and it's like, yeah, let's throw the book at them. Let's punish them as bad as people punish us. I think America is a country that incarcerates people too much. I think that what they did is, I see it happen all the time. I've taught at Syracuse University. You can't tell me that there wasn't people that gave millions of dollars to that damn school where their kids weren't going to get accepted to the school. Imagine if you gave $1 million to a university and then they got the audacity to turn your kid down. Like, any of y'all gonna go for that? If you gave $1 million to Clark Atlanta University and then your child applied and they say, well, sorry, your child does not qualify, would you be a little pissed off? I know I would be. I'd be like, nah, man, we pay for admission, tuition, and everything else. You better not give us no static, right? Now the difference is, I think the universities were pissed because they didn't get the money. They were paying the middlemen to get them through the gates. But universities been running that hustle since forever. The big money donors always get the advantages. The big money donors and the fraternities, the legacy people, and all that, they get all these advantages and benefits that are just happen to be legal. Which allows them to kind of do exactly what they did. The only difference is that they paid their way through a different door. So I didn't think I thought jail time was a bit much. There's nothing sacred about college admission. Like, it's just not. It's nice, it's great, but sure, it gives you a chance to go to some overpriced place that's gonna put you $100,000 in debt. But I don't honestly, and I remember I was a college professor for 25 years. There's nothing special about that any of that process to the point where people should go to jail because they figured out a way to sneak in, or they gave money and used the system in their favor. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying you should go replicate that. I'm not saying it's okay. But it reminded me of when those teachers in Atlanta got sent to jail for kind of teaching to the test, or giving the kids the answers to the test so they could get the higher test scores and get raises and promotions and all that. Y'all remember that down in Atlanta when they was trying to lock up all them black teachers because because they were getting pressure from above to get the test scores up? And they basically told them, like, here are the answers, give the kids the answers so the test scores go up. Now, I'm not saying that's right. Y'all know what I think about the public education system. I think it's screwed up. I think black people should do everything we can to educate our own children. If you love your kids, you're going to find a way to educate them yourself. I'm just telling you, that's what you got to do. But I did not think those teachers should have gone to jail. I don't think the Felicity Huffman lady should have gone to jail. I don't think Tanya McDowell should have gone to jail. A better comparison point, the media has not discussed this, I guess because it didn't go viral, but there's another case I was involved in directly. This was back when I was working a little bit more with Al Sharpton. I told you guys I quit working with Sharpton because it wasn't my vibe, it wasn't my lane. I didn't want to hang out with the Obamas and all that. Some of that stuff that was going on was really a problem for me because I didn't feel like any effective change was actually being made. I felt like it was all kind of a game that people play, and I'm not interested in games. Life's too short for that. But when I used to work with Sharpton back in the day, we had a case in Ohio of a lady named Kelly Williams Bolar. Go look that up. Kelly Williams Bolar. Kelly Williams Bolar was legit locked up, sent to jail because she sent her kids to a school in the wrong district. They didn't just lock her up. They went and actually locked up her father too, because Kelly called me. I remember Kelly was messaging me. And Kelly, here's where Kelly messed up. Kelly messed up because Kelly had all this attention, and all the people in that little town were feeling the heat, because me and Sharpton brought a lot of heat to that. I mean, we went there and we held this rally. Everybody in the community came in, and we were there. And I remember that we were upset because Kelly herself didn't come to the rally because her lawyer, some white dude, told her, like, well, don't be associated with those people. You don't want to be, those are troublemakers. You don't want to be associated with those trouble. So she listened to Massa instead of listening to, I said, Kelly, we're the only protection you got. You need to go ahead and you better go ahead and come on out and say something, because these people are looking to hear from you, blah, blah. She just disappeared, didn't call back or whatever. And then what happened was they were waiting for the cameras to leave town. Like they were just like, okay, we're going to lay back in the cut because we know how the Sharpton types roll. Now, no disrespect to Sharpton. This is just what it is, right? When you get that national attention where Good Morning America's calling you and USA Today and CNN and everybody's calling you, that don't last forever. And she thought it was going to last forever. So what happened was they were calling and trying to get an interview. Everybody wanted to interview her. And I was like, and they were like, Dr. Boyce, can you get her to talk to us? And I was like, I don't know. I've tried. She was calling me, but now she's not calling me back. She's not answering the phone. And lo and behold, all the attention left. And as soon as the media attention left, they put the hammer down on her family like you would not believe. They banged on her. They locked her up, if I'm not mistaken. Her daddy, they went after her father, right? Because she had used her father's address to send her kids to a different school. And Kelly was messaging me and calling me, and I was the only person taking her calls at this point. Everybody else, again, that's what happens. You got the people that have an industry of, based on this whole civil rights thing or whatever. So they moved on. The media have moved on. And she was like, well, I called the people at USA Today, or I called the people at Good Morning America and to talk to them, and they won't call me back. And I said, yeah, that's because when you get that attention, you got to strike while the iron's hot. And so she didn't move. So she got hit really hard, and it was unfair because she didn't do anything wrong except send her children to a different school because she wanted them to have a better life. That's a better example. Tanya McDowell is not a good comparison case because she had this drug thing connected to it. But remember this, here's what vindicates Tanya McDowell. Remember this now. So you got Felicity Huffman, 14 days for whatever the fuck she did, paid somebody to go so her kids could go to some mediocre school, which I thought was ridiculous, but whatever. You had Tanya McDowell, who got 5 years for the school thing, but that was really a front because they was really trying to get her on the drug charge. That's what that was all about. That was a special recipe for her, right? They wouldn't have done that to just anybody. They made it so that it's like, oh, this could happen to anybody. No, it wasn't gonna happen to anybody. It was her because they were trying to get her on the dope thing. She wouldn't snitch. So they were like, okay, we're gonna go get you on this other thing if you don't take us on this. Third, pay attention now. You at the same time, you have people that believe that if you come into the country illegally and still violate federal law, you should get no time at all. You should get not no time. You should not be sent home. You should not be punished. They shouldn't even write you a speeding ticket when you break into the country. And I think that that's a huge, that's a huge, crazy disparity, right? You have mothers being sent to jail, Black mothers being sent to jail for sending their kids to a school in the wrong district. But the Democrats at the same time will expect us to be okay with people being allowed to break into the country with no consequences whatsoever. So you break into a school, you just send your kids to a better school, then it's all kinds of problems. Like Kelly, they wanted her to pay $30,000 in stolen tuition for her kids going to this other school. But yet you got people that want us to just look at illegal immigration like it's nothing. And so this kind of shows you the range of disparity in terms of how people sort of have preferential treatment for who commits specific crimes, and they put them in different categories. They put people in different categories, and then the punishments ends up varying, and it's very connected to race. So what I think that all this says is, going back, Felicity Huffman, I don't really care if America wants to have open borders, they can have open borders. I'm okay with open borders, right? You don't let people in the country and act like we have no borders, then fuck it. Let's just do that shit. Open the goddamn borders, let everybody in. It's free reign. Let's stop pretending that we have immigration law. Anybody wants to come in, Osama's kids want to come hang out, whatever. I don't care. If you're going to do that, here's what I demand first. Here's my demand. My demand is that if you're going to allow other people to violate federal law with no consequences, then you need to go to every penitentiary in America, and you need to release immediately 100,000 or more African-American people who have been incarcerated for for decades for nonviolent drug offenses, who've been incarcerated for many years for very small petty crimes, who've been incarcerated, who are American citizens, who are ancestors of the people who built this damn country. Let them out first. If you let them out, then I don't care what you do with them. I don't care if they build a wall or don't build a wall. I don't care if they open the border or shut it down. I give zero fucks about any of that, because that ain't got nothing to do with me up here as a Black man in Chicago. It just doesn't. Only way it connects to me as a Black man in Chicago is an article I read in Bloomberg that basically connected a lot of the murders of Black kids in Chicago to one Mexican drug cartel, where I'm sure these guys are not exactly filling out all the immigration forms when they come to the country. The cartels do bring people in illegally. Like I know Trump said it, and people want to act like it's not true because Trump said it, but no, I'm in the Chi, that's a thing. People know these things. This is what's real, right? So I think at the end of the day, I think we have to sort of really look at this thing. And when I think about those three cases, you've got the position on illegal immigration, no consequence for violating federal law. Felicity Huffman, 14 days for violating some sort of law. I'm sure there's some federal charges in this. They always find ways to trump shit up. And then you had Tanya McDowell and Kelly Williams-Bolar getting 5 or more years in prison for violating random shit. Like, I sent my child to the wrong school. I want my kids to get a better education because the schools in my neighborhood are crappy. But somehow that makes me a criminal. That does not make them criminals. That maybe means they broke a rule, but we got to know the difference between people who break a rule to do the right thing versus actual criminals. Criminals are people who hurt other people. Criminals are people who will, go and steal property from other people. The criminals are people who will go rape and murder and beat the shit out of somebody. Criminals are people who harm other human beings 9 times out of 10. Criminals are not, it's not some mom who says, I love my baby so much, I'm not gonna send them to the school where they might have a bullet hole in their back by the time they graduate. I'm gonna send them to a better school, right? Criminals are not moms who say, I love my baby so much, I'm gonna spend $500,000 so they can go to a good college, right? Criminals are not, and then you could also say criminals are not the moms that want to bring their kids across the border so they can have a better life in the United States. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I can live with that. I'm not anti that, right? But I am anti-Black oppression. I am very much anti bottom of the barrelism when it comes to where you put Black people in this whole thing. Like, you can't put everybody else at the top. We're gonna put immigrants at the top, white women at the top, and then you got us at the very bottom. But we the first ones y'all come to when it's time to get a damn vote. We the first ones y'all come to when it's time to sell some damn Popeye's chicken. We the first ones y'all come to when it comes to stealing ideas and art and culture and everything else, and getting cultural authenticity that you can then go selling mortgage around the world. But yet we're the last ones that you think about when we say, hey, our communities have fallen to pieces. Families falling apart. Kids ain't getting no education. Businesses ain't being built. Money is dry. Troubles are high. Kids are dying in the street, and y'all ain't got nothing to say about that. Well, then I say, fuck you. I say, get the hell out of my face, because I don't have time for that nonsense. So, bottom line, point blank, I'll summarize with this. I'm going to go in there and hang out with my woman and watch this show. We watched this great show on Showtime or HBO. I forgot what it's called. What it is, it's called Succession. So if you are building your family empire, which everybody in here should be an empire builder. If you're Black, you should be an empire builder. You are a king or you are a queen. You have the opportunity to build an empire. Start building your empire now, and then you'll be amazed at what it can become in a generation. But the show Succession is all about this family where they're trying to decide how to pass the wealth down to the kids, and all the kids are really fucked up, which is actually an interesting true life phenomenon. 70% of all wealthy families lose all their wealth in one generation. So as you build your wealth, just make sure that you know how to teach your kids how to manage it, teach your kids how to protect it, teach them how to be strong and focused, so they can actually build on what you have as opposed to destroy it. Because if you work your butt off and raise your kids wrong, then all that hard work, you're gonna be rolling over in your grave when they threw it all away. So that's what Succession's all about. So hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Share and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, please hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live. Also, All Black National Convention happens the weekend of September 27th. So you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com to get passes. Allblacknationalconvention.com, right there down in Houston. We'll be in New York after that. But New York is an investment seminar. It's going to be great. We're going to have an elevator pitch competition as well. You're going to be in the room with a lot of really smart Black people who are willing to invest in themselves. These are great people to network with. Also, we're going to learn. We're going to talk all about investing all day long. It's literally our most popular program in the Black Business School. I can't think of one single person who went there and didn't like it. And so if you want to go to that, you can go to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. And last but not least, don't forget, if you want to watch the convention via satellite, so to speak, or online, go to allblackeducation.com. That's allblackeducation.com. So that is our that's our online digital platform, so you can watch all kinds of stuff. And Nikki Taylor, I do not have fat boy swag. Thank you very much, because I'm training for my first marathon. So both middle fingers to Nikki Taylor. Up here talking about I got fat boy swag. I ain't got no fat boy swag. I just ran 5 miles. How many miles you run, Nikki? Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Love you. Talk to you later. Peace.